Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. I'm your host, Kavita, and the founder of Power Purpose Play, a global community of women in midlife. I'm here to tell you that it's your time now to rediscover what has always been inside of you and bring that out into the world. If you're wondering what's next, but don't know quite what that is, or if you feel a twinge in your heart telling you that you have so much more to do and so much more to offer, you're in the right place. Ask yourself, if not now, when? Do you want to leave your job, start your own business, take control of your health, reignite the passion in your marriage, write that book, or at least that first chapter? Transitions like this can be daunting, but through listening to my story and interviews with incredible women every week, I hope to inspire you to take action. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Hi, my friend, and welcome to another episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. I am so pleased to share that we have reached the milestone of publishing 75 episodes of this podcast. Not only that, we have been selected as one of the top 20 midlife women podcasts on the web. When I started this podcast about a year and a half ago, I never would have imagined that I'd be here today. I didn't know much about how to podcast, and I'm sure if I listened to my first podcast, I'd cringe. But I did it, and it's not about how many I've published or what kind of recognition I get, but it's about how much impact I can make. I think if that drives us forward, thinking about how much we can positively impact one another, then our jobs will be done. I hope through listening to this podcast, you've come to ask yourself some questions about what impact you want to make in your life. It doesn't have to be a huge world-changing thing, but have you thought about what you really want? Too often we measure our success on the next thing, the next level, the accolades, the money, and of course that is all important. But what if, next time you're considering your next move, what if you thought about what you really want? What you're going to do positively impacts other people. Let that be your guide. I'm going to contemplate over the next few months how I can best serve you. I have had the honor of interviewing amazing people on this podcast and the honor of coaching many extraordinary women. As a result, I have learned a lot and seen some patterns which I believe need to be addressed further. I will share my plan in a later podcast, but for now, remember, even if you think things are going great, there is always a chance to bring out a blank slate and ask yourself, can I do better? I recently wrote an article for a great publication called Cool Life, and if you haven't read it, it's a wonderful online publication for women, led by Jack Perez, who I previously had on as a guest in this podcast. The article I wrote about talks about our Big Hairy Audacious Goals, and I'll share that with you here. At this time in our lives, as we are in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, we can be at a crossroads or transition in our lives. In fact, transitions can occur at any stage in our life, but this stage is uniquely different. The all too common question, what do I want to do with the rest of my life, looms large in our minds. It always seems to be about the doing, but I challenge you to disrupt this way of thinking. What if you were to think about who you want to be first? Think about it this way. Who you want to be determines what you will do and how you will achieve it. Let me repeat that. Who you want to be determines what you will do and how you will achieve it. We've heard this before, the fact that we are human beings and not human doings. Yet the question still arises, what do we want to do with our lives moving forward? Now that you may have more time to focus on yourself, perhaps, versus looking after everyone else first, what do you want to do? Do you want to pivot to a new career? Pursue a buried passion? Start your own business? Give back more to your community? Travel more? Perhaps write a book or maybe even start a podcast? The possibilities are exciting, yet when we think of taking the next step, we're often stopped in our tracks by those voices inside which nag at us and question, do I really have what it takes to do this? Where do I even start? The only way we can really figure out what we want to do and how to do it is to start first with the who. Who do you want to be and why? The answers will come from within if we really stop to ask ourselves deep questions and answer truthfully. When I left my corporate career of 25 years, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do. I had an inkling, but the way I figured it out is by doing the following. Start with your strengths. What are you really good at? What do people come to you for advice? Next, think about your passions. What did you love to do when you were a child of, say, 8 years old? Have you explored that passion in your life, or is it buried so deep that you don't know how to access it? Then it is about your values. What do you value now that maybe you didn't value so much, let's say 20 or 30 years ago? How can you bring that into what you're doing moving forward? If you could choose your top 5 values, what would they be? When we ask ourselves these questions and others, and then couple them with a vision for ourselves, the what and how will follow. I promise you that. So let's talk about your vision for yourself in the next 20 to 30 years. Who do you want to be? What is your big, hairy, audacious goal? Or BHAG? Take some time now to write down what comes to mind right now for you. Remember, your goals can be as outrageous or audacious as you want them, but it is a dream that you have for yourself. If you've done the work of thinking about your strengths, your passions, and your values, no doubt your big, hairy, audacious goal will align with them. It should make you feel uncomfortable. As it stands today, to what degree do you think you can achieve your BHAG? Of course, blocks will come up as you think about executing your big, hairy, audacious goal. Write those blocks down and ask yourself, what strengths do I possess which will help me achieve this goal? If we don't set big, hairy, audacious goals for ourselves, we will no doubt remain stagnant in our current state and not grow or evolve. These goals are personal. It doesn't mean you have to set the goal of climbing 7 mountain peaks. Your BHAG is your personal milestone, however big or small, which will help you envision your next stage of life with confidence. As we transition in distinct stages of our lives, always remember who you want to be first. Let your BHAG guide you and work to uncover all the remarkable things you already have inside of you that are just waiting to be revealed to the world. You can reach your goals if you choose to be first and ask yourself these questions and then set the big, hairy, audacious goals for yourself that you never think would even be possible. Like I did when I first started this podcast. You will most likely certainly surprise yourself with how much you can really do and how much you really have inside of you, and how much you can really positively impact yourself and the world around you. I'll be sharing my next steps in the few weeks ahead, and I want 2023 and beyond to be about serving you best. And that is what I am working on right now. So stay tuned for some big announcements. In the meantime, if you are thinking about your BHAG and are at a crossroads in your life, maybe you're thinking about changing your career or moving ahead in your current one, or leaving it to start a new venture, maybe in retiring to pursue your passions, or perhaps doing a combination of all of these, but are confused, reach out to me. I've been there. I know how you feel, and I have created a process, and I'm trained to help you find the answers. My big, hairy, audacious goal is to positively impact 1 million women worldwide. But that starts with one powerful woman at a time. Will you be one of them? If you don't know what I do, I am a certified women's life and career transitions coach. And if you don't know what that is or what a coach does, reach out to me at Kavita at powerpurposeplay.ca for a free consultation. I have a 3-month coaching program called It's My Time Now, which will help you identify exactly who you want to be and how you want to do it. 2023 is upon us almost, so this is a great time for you to start thinking about these things. Also, as part of this coaching program, I am certified to administer an assessment called the Energy Leadership Index Assessment, or ELI. This is an attitudinal assessment, which is based on an energy action model, and it differs from personality assessments like you might be familiar with, like by Myers-Briggs or DISC. It's not intended to label a person and have them work within that label. Instead, it measures your level of energy based on your attitude or perception of your world. And because attitude is subjective, it can be altered. Through our coaching, you can alter your attitude and perspective, make a shift in your consciousness, and increase your energy as a result. There are really no limits as to the potential growth you can achieve. Coaches normally charge for this assessment, but it is included as part of my coaching program, which is again called It's My Time Now. Because I truly believe it really is your time now. If not now, when? If any of this piques your interest, my friend, reach out to me. What have you got to lose, really? If you are thinking about your big, hairy, audacious goal, but don't know where to start, I'm your gal. Till next time, my friend, stay well and stay safe, and I look forward to sharing with you my goals for 2023 and beyond. Take care.